Hey there, YouTube, and welcome to Big Mike Beard Wisdom. So today's episode, we're going to be talking about YouTube music. So here we are at my main landing page, and then if you click up over here, like if you start your own channel, you'll have the icon like this, and then you can go to YouTube Studio. And the big one for this one is going to be audio library right here. So the audio library music is pretty much free to use. There's just different license types that can change as to how you use it or what you need to do. So in the video that we made for the Blizzard time lapse, basically I searched for Christmas or holiday music, and in it, some of it had free to use. Much like this like the YouTube looking audio library one. So this one you can see it's free to use the audio track on any individuals, no attribution is needed. Whereas if I were to search real quick for like holiday, some of these will have this symbol, so Creative Commons attribution. And in this, they'll have what you have to put in for it, especially when you download it. So when you download it, it'll give you this kind of information here. So basically, all that they're looking for is that you put in your description that this is this section here. That way, the people get their proper recognition for what they did. And then, so in this video, I put it in, and then I kind of was trying to be a little bit funny with some of the stuff. So I have stuff like attaching video, or YouTube will make you eat the lemon flavored snow, or attaching video, or my name is YouTube, you played my music, or you played licensed music, prepare to die. Kind of like Inigo Montoya from The Princess Bride. And then I was trying to be, just throw something in kind of funny, because if I have to put it in there, I might as well have something that if someone's going to even try and read all through all of this. But the big thing is that you have to have it in here, that way it shows. But in total, we had 9 songs. So not all of the songs needed an attribution, just the ones that I called out for. And then this one being kind of a longer video. In hindsight, I think I probably would have edited this video down a little bit, because they're like the rainy portion of where everything starts to freeze is kind of boring. So I'm sure everyone probably just wanted to watch the snow if they did want to watch the snow. But the big thing I was thinking for this particular video was that it was a little bit late for it, but I wanted it to be like like if someone wanted just Christmas music, and then it would just be the Blizzard in the background. So they could pay attention to whatever stuff I was putting on the screen or something if they wanted to, but otherwise it would just play Christmas music. Then what I did to kind of help keep everything kind of straight is that, like, this is my my hard drive that I have, the external hard drive, and I try and keep everything backed up and separated. But the music files are so big, and I'm willing to bet I'm gonna get a whole bunch of music files. I've split them into 2 different categories. One of them for free, and then I've got the Christmas and holiday ones. And then I also have some of the other ones. There's a bunch of like older like classical music that seems to be free. It seems like a lot of stuff that's pre-1920 could be safe to use. It just depends on whatever license is on it. And then here's some of the rock music that they have, and then I used that in the last video. So, and then in the free but attachments, I try to add in with the name the must include section. That way we're able to see what I needed to include in there. That way there was like no way I'd forget. So this basically for like the Carol of the Bells one that was done by Audionautics. I basically just copied this from the main screen wherever it showed like what I needed to have. So there was actually surprisingly not that many songs that came up for either holiday or for like Christmas, which I thought was strange. But it might just be one of those things where because like down here it'll say 1 of 30 of many, but I want to say it's something like there's only like barely 60. Yep. So, and then some of them are ones that I don't always relate to as Christmas songs and stuff. So like the Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairies always kind of makes me think of, I think it was Disney that had some type of Christmas music or a Christmas show set to that song and stuff. It might have been like Peter and the Wolf or something. And then, but like the Waltz of the Flowers, that's not one that I kind of recognized and stuff. But the big thing was that a whole bunch of these are free to, well, you're able to use through YouTube's audio library, and then you don't have to worry about any kind of weird stuff happening. Whereas the ones that have the Creative Commons, you just have to be sure to put that attribution in there, and you should be fine. So, and then as you can see from the window that popped up, it says that you're free to use this audio track in any of your videos, including videos that you monetize. However, you must include attribution information in your video description. So in that way, it'll be something where, like, if you were to just pick a current popular song, or maybe you wanted to play something like a classic rock song or something like that, you can't always use it, and then you can't use it for a specific amount of time, but unless because if somebody winds up finding it, they can actually I think they put like a ding on you somehow, and then the YouTube looks into it, and if you were up for monetization, I think it changes how the monetization worked. Either you lose the monetization, or perhaps the monetization goes towards the artist. So, but it was pretty neat doing this. I just wound up taking and just searching up in this filter area. But for like the rock songs and stuff, those I basically just left the filter open, and I changed when it was added to YouTube. So a bunch of these I just flipped, that way it was the first ones. And what's interesting is a bunch of the early songs and stuff, like Toccata in D minor, which if you don't recognize that, that's the Phantom of the Opera song. And then, but a bunch of these were added like way back in 2013. So I thought if I went really old, then I wouldn't be using the same songs that other people are using. So, because I don't know if a whole bunch of people have listened to the older stuff, or a whole bunch of people have used the older stuff, but just in looking at the newer stuff when it was added, there's quite a lot more songs that were added recently within like the similar months. And then you could also search for, let me see, like if you wanted a particular mood. So in this mood section, they've got like romantic, dark, calm, inspirational, bright, funky. They have a genre that you can search for. So pop, hip hop, dance, ambient, R&B. There's rock, and then let me see, the country and folk. They have the artist that's listed, which you can search for them too. And then the duration. That was one that I kind of wish I would have searched for, because actually trying to make all the songs fit into this one, this 16 minutes and 36 seconds, was kind of a little strange. So I think at the end, I think there's about 10 seconds, and so the last final, like, thanks for watching clip had no music in it and stuff. But like when I added music to my snowblowing tips one, so this video, I actually only have the 3 songs on it, and the 3 songs are kind of in the beginning, in the middle, and then at the end. But it does seem like it makes a big difference kind of having that music play in the background, just because it's not me talking. But that's pretty much it for my lessons learned that I picked up on the YouTube audio library. There's also sound effects in here that you could play as well. And then unfortunately right now I'm using the PowerPoint screen capture, and then of course with this, the strange part with the PowerPoint screen capture is that it doesn't play the sound on the screen, whereas if I was in the Xbox game bar, it would play the sound that was on screen. But if I popped up maybe like I don't know if it would show it if I popped between pages, or if I opened up another document, if it would display that, which I think from the first time that I used it, it probably wouldn't show this other document, let alone like if I right clicked, it wouldn't show up any of this menu that popped up. So downfall is one way, good things in other ways. And then just in case anyone's curious, we're still at 2 subscribers, which is pretty cool. We've got, let me see, so total views for the channel, we got 30 total views, 3.7 watched hours. And then it looks like top videos that people have watched is still the first one. or actually that's the editing. This the first one. So this is the second video technically that we made. So this is the first video that we made. Second video, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. So, but yep, I'll probably add music into this one, especially like that point where I mentioned Toccata in D minor. I'll try and see if I can remember that I mentioned it, so I'm going to write the note down. That way people can hear it as it's playing, that way they're able to find out. But this has been really actually pretty cool. We're trying to keep putting out one video a week at least, and then we'll see how things go. So far, obviously not enough people yet in order to be monetized, but I'm hopeful. There seems to be plenty of impressions, so I don't know if that means they're showing it to a lot of people or not. I probably really should research that a little bit, but it's definitely interesting to do. And then with it being kind of, well, not super great outside, so we had another storm come through, and it's like it was a real wet and icy snow. So it's funny because the dogs walk on top of the snow now instead of sinking through it. Alright, so that's pretty much it for what we've covered so far. It's pretty interesting how the audio library works. Just pay attention to the license type, and then you should be able to set and pick what music that you want with or without having to do an attribution. And then just be sure that if you do use anything that needs an attribution, that you use it properly. And that's pretty much it for this video. I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you have a good one. Bye. Oh no, I never remember. Is it Windows Shift Q? It all just takes a little bit of planning. And then I don't myself really read these descriptions whenever I watch YouTube, because it seems like I watch YouTube primarily on my PlayStation 4, which has become more of a YouTube machine than a a game machine as of late. But the descriptions in here, I try to make it so that there was at least something a little bit funny. So if someone was reading down through these, at least they could see that, you know, maybe there's a break in the boredom or something like that if you're used to seeing attributions and stuff. So I've got stuff in here like attaching description or YouTube make eat the yellow snow. This one was a reference to The Princess Bride. So attaching description, or my name is YouTube, you played licensed music, prepare to die. Kind of like Inigo Montoya from The Princess Bride. You know, he went, you know, my name is Inigo Montoya, you killed my father, prepare to die. So, and then go after the six-fingered man. I just saw that recently, so it's still stuck in my head. Really like the parts with Andre the Giant.